Storytime, the Constitution. In our nation's beginning, the states were anything but united, and under the wishy-washy Articles of Confederation, states behaved like independent countries. Some of them taxed visitors, printed worthless currency. By the fall of 1786, the mounting chaos had become apparent to everyone. The proposed remedy was a new form of government, sharply defined by a constitution. Delegates were elected to convene in Philadelphia, and on the first day, almost nobody showed up. It took 2 weeks to get enough delegates in Philadelphia to actually decide on anything. And very few of those people were optimistic at all. The Bill of Rights was completely left out of the first two drafts of the Constitution. And Thomas Jefferson was actually in Paris during the Constitutional Convention. And when he learned that the Bill of Rights had been left out, he was fucking furious. And he expressed his outrage to James Madison by mail. There were many sore spots, like the concept of a strong presidency and the idea of one representative for every 40,000 people. Edmund Randolph said that was just far too few congressmen, and it would result in a dangerous level of power at the federal level. Eldridge Gary stood up and gave 7 speeches in one day how he could never approve of such a document. Luther Martin of Maryland got up and walked out screaming that the people of Maryland would hang his ass if he signed the Constitution, to which many replied, "The people of Maryland are going to hang your ass anyway." It was a long, hot summer that produced the Constitution. These delegates convened in May, and they were still screaming at each other in September. Everyone had a formula. There was a Virginia plan, a New Jersey plan, the Great Compromise, but somehow, ultimately, in agony and ecstasy, freedom was born. Now, in school classrooms, bedecked by presidents' portraits all over the walls, American students have lived under the myth for years that our founding fathers were united in a common purpose. And it is important to remember that that is simply not at all true. 55 delegates ended up in Philadelphia, which is only 3/4 of those elected, and another 25% left before the Constitution was finished. So that means only half of the elected delegates actually signed their name to our Constitution. The rest just left, succumbing to apathy, aggravation, stubbornness. In fact, Rhode Island and North Carolina, they refused to participate at all. So what I'm saying is that in the early years of our ism, the greatest threat to independence was too much of it. There can be such a thing as too much independence. Let posterity heed that, in fact, sometimes the greatest enemy of freedom is freedom itself.